Yo, what's good guys, welcome back to another video where today we are back with the Game Week 5 Premier League predictions, and we're gonna go over the Game Week 5 Premier League matches. Got some very good ones this week as well, so without further ado, let's not waste any more of your time and let's get straight into it. Now we have West Ham versus Chelsea. This game is gonna be a absolute banger, so let's get started with West Ham. This season it's not going too well for them, with 1 win, 1 draw and 2 losses. And man, the signings made by this club are absolutely amazing. They have Fulkrug, Tadibo, Somerville, the Leeds player of the year from last season, and they drew against Fulham in their most recent game as well. And I think it might just take some time for this team to just gel all together, all those new signings and everything. So in my opinion, I think we will see West Ham do quite well. It might just take a bit of time. On to Chelsea, looking alright this season. They made quite a few signings this summer. Sancho already has his first assist at Chelsea. I think it will take some time for them to properly gel. And in terms of Chelsea, I think Nkunku, he will find his form once again, just like his form in the Bundesliga was absolutely incredible. I think he will find that kind of form and bring it into these Chelsea games. It just might take a little bit of adapting as he's new to the Premier League. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Chelsea. Moving on to Aston Villa versus Wolves. This game should be quite a good one, so let's get started with Villa. They have been doing quite well so far. They had a high scoring season. They had a high scoring game. Last game they won 3-2 against Everton. John Duran scored possibly the goal of the season. That one was incredible. It was like 35 yards out. This guy just banged it, just top left. Absolutely incredible. But Onana could possibly be out for this match, but we did see him play in the Champions League, so he is back in the Aston Villa team. So that is very good news for Villa fans and overall the team. Now on to Wolves. They seem like a decent team. They did quite alright in their last game. Wolves did fall and lose 2-1 to Newcastle. A player that looks quite good, I think, is Strand Larson. I believe he plays striker, and results wise they gotta improve on those. Although they are playing some decent football, just the results need a show in terms of every game. And my prediction is going to be a 3-0 win for Aston Villa. Moving on to Fulham versus Newcastle, another pretty decent game here. So let's get started with Fulham. They're doing quite alright this season. I think this team might be a underrated team in the league. Smith Rowe is going to be a key player in this team. This game against Newcastle will be a bit of a struggle. I think Newcastle are doing very well this season, so Fulham have done alright, but I think Newcastle might be the better side, but we'll have to wait and see. And Jimenez seems to be in alright form as well for Fulham. Onto Newcastle, they have been doing quite good. Their last game they beat Wolves 2-1, and I heard Isak got injured against Wolves, so let's see if he plays or not. If he does not play, that is a huge miss for Newcastle. Now so far Newcastle are unbeaten throughout all their games, which is pretty impressive, as last season they did not really have a too good season, but they're once again bringing it back. And I think my prediction is going to be a 3-2 win for Newcastle. Now Southampton versus Ipswich. This game on paper looks tight, so let's get started with Southampton, newly promoted side in the Premier League. Not a good start to the season so far. They will be facing another team that went up with them as well, and I think Southampton are an alright side. They play some decent football at times, but once again, the only thing that matters here is results, and they need to get those as soon as possible. Now on to Ipswich. newly promoted team in the Premier League, not looking too bad this season. First two games were rough as they played Liverpool and Manchester City. The other two they drew, which I mean they could have maybe won a game, but I think a win is pending and it is coming. So they have some solid players like Omari Hutchinson, Johnson, who they signed from West Ham, and many other players. So my prediction is going to be a 2-2 draw between those two. Now next game we have is Tottenham versus Brentford. This I could generally see being a very good game. So let's get started with Tottenham. They are not doing too well this season. Started the season not too good because they only have one win, and Angie is getting criticized for his team's performances as they haven't been getting the results. Like, their performances are okay, but the results, as I said before, that's what the fans want to see. And Solanke is finally back, and so is Van de Ven, so that is pretty huge for the team and might take some time for them to figure things out. On to Brentford. Last season Brentford were awful. Honestly, they are turning it around so far though. 9th place in the Premier League right now. They did lose their last game 2-1 to Manchester City. Wissa has been doing quite well for them so far, and Buemo is another key player. Those two could just come up with moments out of nowhere, with goals out of nowhere. Those are the difference makers, and my prediction is gonna be a 2-1 win for Tottenham. Now Leicester versus Everton. So let's get started with this match. Leicester, a newly promoted side who have experience in the Premier League. Not too good of a start for them this season. They have 2 draws and 2 losses so far. No wins though, and Vardy continues to score in the Premier League. What a guy. And I think this one generally could go either way. It could be a very tight one between the two. On to Everton. They're doing not too good this season. They have not won a game at all this season. They sit dead last with 4 losses in 20th place, have conceded 13 goals as well so far this season in 4 matches. That is pretty awful considering they were one of the best defensive teams last season. I don't know what happened now, but they have to turn this around eventually, and my prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw between these two. Now we have Liverpool versus Bournemouth. This game could be a exciting one, so let's get started with Liverpool. They have actually been incredible. I know they did lose 1-0 to Forest, but I think that's just a small blimp in their season, like a small bump, and still a outstanding season from them. They have been playing some very good football. Yakpo has been very good for them, taking his form from the Euros into this Liverpool team. Onto Bournemouth, they are doing fairly alright this season. They do play some very nice football at times. They have lost 1 game though against Chelsea. Even Nelson, the new signing, has not got going yet, so it will take some time as has moved from the Portuguese league with Porto to the Premier League, so I think that's a pretty big adjustment in my opinion. This will be one of the most underrated teams that we will see this season. Now my prediction is going to be a 3-2 win for Liverpool. Moving on to Crystal Palace versus Manchester United. This is going to be a very good one, so let's get started with Crystal Palace. They have not started the season all too well. The positive is that Mateta is back to scoring. He scored a brace in his last game, and slowly they are bringing back their form. When they get going, I think they're going to be a very good team, although they are missing Elise, which probably was a key part in that team, but he made the move to the Bundesliga. So let's move into Manchester United. They have been alright so far this season, and so far they have 2 wins and 2 losses in the Premier League. And Rashford, I think he's a player who needs to turn up this season. It's either he turns up or he probably has to go after this season. And one of United's most exciting players this season is Amad Diallo. I believe he is the man doing quite a bit of taking on the defenders, maybe out of any of the attackers, and they need to turn their season around, especially for their standard. That the United fans have such a high standard because of what happened in the past and how much they won in the past. So in my opinion, this game will end 2-2. Now Brighton versus Nottingham Forest. This could be quite a tight game if we're really looking at it, and let's get started with Brighton. They're looking quite decent this season. They beat the likes of United a few weeks back. They have not lost a game at all this season yet. Matoma is looking quite good. He is back playing some matches, and last game they actually drew against Ipswich Town, and I thought they would win that because obviously Ipswich Town is a newly promoted team, but Ipswich Town did play pretty decent. So on to Nottingham Forest. They're doing quite good this season, and I believe they have not lost a game as well this season. So this past week they also beat Liverpool 1-0. I know that's pretty crazy, and Hudson-Odoi was incredible in that game. He actually got the winning goal against Liverpool. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Brighton. Now moving on to one of the biggest games this season and the biggest game of this game week. It is Man City versus Arsenal. So let's get started with Manchester City. They have started the season very well. They won all 4 of their games so far, scoring 11 goals, and out of 9 of those goals are Haaland. That's pretty crazy. But they are still one of the best sides in the world. They still yet to have Rodri slot into that team, as he has been out with a injury, I believe. So once he gets into that team, it's going to be even more dangerous. Now onto Arsenal, another team who's doing quite well. We are undefeated as well with 3 wins and a draw, and Havertz seems to be having himself a pretty decent season so far, and we will most likely miss Odegaard in the team. We won't probably not have him in the team as he got injured last week and got injured during the international break with Norway. So very key creative playmaker in our team, so that's something we're gonna miss out massively on. But Saka did also pick up a slight injury, so I wonder if he will play in this match. Hopefully he does, if he is alright. If he's not alright, Arteta, please just let him recover, because I know Arteta has kept Saka playing even though he has had a slight injury sometimes, and it might make it worse and it might have him out for even longer. So just please be safe, Arteta, please. It's gonna be a very good game. 2 very good sides, in my opinion, 2 of the best sides in the Premier League, fighting for a win, a draw, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, my prediction is gonna be a 1-1 draw between the 2. Now thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below all your predictions for these games, and don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you guys for 600 subs once again. It means a lot to me. We're gonna continue doing these videos. Thank you for the support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.